The Maritime Union wants the federal government to close a legislative loophole that allows an overseas company to employ foreign workers in Australian waters without 457 visas. Allseas is laying the pipeline for a natural gas project off the coast of Western Australia. The federal court has ruled Allseas does not need to obtain 457 visas for its 125 overseas employees. Unions vented their anger at a rally in Perth today, as Amy Bainbridge reports.
The Maritime Union wants to send a message to energy giant Chevron and the Swiss company contracted to it, Allseas. The MUA is angry about a federal court decision allowing Allseas to use foreign workers to lay gas pipeline on the Australian seabed without using 457 visas.
Just to bring workers in and exploit them workers and not pay them the Australian wages and conditions, as has just come down through the Allseas decision, is an absolute disgrace to humanity.
Chevron's ambitious Gorgon project is tapping into gas reserves under the seabed 130 kilometres off the northwest coast of Western Australia. The gas will then be piped to Barrow Island. In the federal court in Perth, Allseas successfully argued their employees on 2 boats are not working in Australia's migration zone and don't need work visas. It argued the 2 boats laying the pipeline were not permanent resource installations fixed to the Australian seabed and therefore could bypass the need for visas.
I was initially a little surprised because I felt that Australia had a clear right to regulate resource activities of that kind on the territorial sea or on the continental shelf. But when you look at the legislation in detail and look at the reasoning of the judge, one can be very sympathetic with the reasoning that underlay the decision.
The union says the government must change legislation so other companies don't exploit existing laws.
I mean, something has to be done. If it's not done, here is one of the most lucrative, productive and important industries to Australia that is effectively locking out Australian workers from involving themselves in it because of a technicality in a piece of legislation. Now that needs to be addressed, needs to be fixed and needs to be done urgently.
We may need to review the current legislation to see whether it really is keeping up with the realities of technology, but also with the realities that in some areas there will be expert skills that will come internationally and how we regulate that.
The federal government is still reviewing the court decision. Amy Bainbridge, Lateline.
And Lateline contacted Allseas for a comment, but the company declined to issue a statement.